Good evening, everybody, or morning, or afternoon. Actually happens to be very early morning for me. I haven't been to bed yet, and it's almost 1:30. Okay, so this Sunday's video, we're going to discuss something here. This here is where we're at in the build. Of course, you notice the van body's missing. Or I'm sorry, the VUC body is missing. I have paint for the most part on my pipes. And of course you saw all this already. The bumpers are good to go. The rims are looking sharp. I test fit one of these, and it just sings to me. So these here are the wheel backs. I'm going to go with black. I'm going to do one more coat of the primer, and I'm just going to leave it black on for the chassis and the bottom of the body, the bed and everything like that. I'm just going to leave it black. As you can see here, there's a few more spots to get, and a little touch up here and there, but I like this. It goes with the theme. And the best part is, when you look at this, you can't tell that I lengthened it, and that's what I was going for. But we're going to discuss something. I get inundated in my daily life. I get inundated with a lot of stimuli, I guess you could say. It's outside of adulting, this whole new brain pattern thing I've got going on since Iraq, and I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't. You combine that with well, my childhood and everything like that, the level of imagination I carried with me into adulthood. So, you know, people start throwing things my way, and it's like, oh, I wonder about this. Can I do something with that? So this whole concept was inspired by a vehicle my son and daughter and I saw one day at McDonald's. And my son gave it the name VUC, for van truck. And it's just funny, it stuck. And I actually asked the gentleman that was driving it if he had a problem with me using it as an inspiration for a model build, and he was actually elated that I would do something like that. He would, oh good lord, I mean, he was just absolutely ecstatic. You know, shook my hand, everything, was like, oh yeah, by all means, please go ahead. So when it came to the video series, I think I've explained this before, but I'm not positive. And if I have, I apologize. I had always planned on presenting building models in 3 different formats. One is straight up out of the box, nothing overly special, no extra detail, no extra goodies, photo etch, anything like that, and you can still make a good looking model. That's the point. Go back and check my F16 build. That's the point, is you can build it out of the box. If you're just getting started in the hobby, you can build it out of the box and it will turn out looking great. The next set of videos that I wanted to cover is, you can build it out of the box, but you can give it that little extra attention to detail. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the 2 videos I did for the MPC Godzilla Jeep that I turned into a mass Jeep. It's not just about the it's not just about the paint and the gluing together, but it's about actually cleaning up all the seam lines, cleaning up all the mold lines, giving all that extra detail, the attention to detail. You're looking for the realism, and that's what a lot of modelers strive for. They just hope to be able to get to that point. And then there are those like myself who enjoys a special challenge. And that covered the 3rd group of videos to cover, is just because that's what's in the box doesn't mean that's what has to come out of the box. Well, as you see before you, there is, well, an array of weird and odd things that didn't come with the van kit. And a lot of this, I want to credit my neighbor. He gave me a couple of model boxes of just junk, spare parts, loose tires, you name it. I mean, it's just a couple of vehicle bodies. There's just what what we in the modeling community call junkyard boxes. That's pretty much what it was. And he, he gave it to me. He was like, here. And so as I was going along with this build, and I set out to do a VUC as the video, I was going to make it all nice and spiffy and like showroom quality. But then the way my brain works, as the build progressed, I saw something in the build, saw something more than what I was doing just as the build. So my vision for the VUC changed. It's still the VUC, it's just changed. I changed up the paint scheme. I was going to do a little something different to be representative of some of my favorite childhood memories. And then as it went along, discussing the build with acquaintances of mine and just people I know, my neighbor and stuff, things started formulating in my head. It's like, oh, I wonder if I could do this, or I wonder if I could do that. And then some of the acquaintances were like, oh man, this would be really cool like this. And I take that, and with that combined with their lightning rod of inspiration inspires me to go a little more. So, I mean, as you can see here, the van body bed is not carpeted, and that's on purpose. But it's also black. It's primered. And then here we have this, well, green. I don't know if you can get a sense of where we're going with this. The dash top itself will actually be black, and I've got a really nice Testors, I think that is, yeah, Testors bronze that I'm going to use to highlight or do a lot of the highlights in here in detail, highlights and details in here. But it's going to be basically the green and the black. The steering wheel is done. It's just over on my paint stand. But then look at the captain's chairs. No, we're not going with Christmas. It's just the look I'm going with. When you look at it from the front. So I'm kind of hoping, without spoiling it, for the final reveal. I'm hoping that you're getting a sense of where I'm going with this. Now everything else falls in line. Everything you see here, this piece here, that was a bit of I don't know what from some other random model kit from years ago, but I scratch built the box. This is going to be a well, kind of like a switch box. These two bits of sprue that I have filed down pretty good, they're round, are going to be, well, Tesla coils. Now, of course, I used the clear, like I said, to map out what I was looking for, but this is going to be the raised section that's going to go to the side of the van. I've got another one here ready to go. It's 3 pieces of, I do believe that's 25 by 20, 25 millimeters. Yeah, 25 millimeters by 20 millimeters. 3 sheets of the 0.02 millimeter sheet styrene glued together, in case you're wondering. This is going to find its way into the main body. These 2 random tanks, which were in that bin of junk, are going to find their way in there. This is a steering wheel for a dragster of some kind, and it's going to be a handy dandy little handle here because I'm creative that way. The mirrors that came with the van just didn't suit me, so the yellow bits there are Tamiya masking tape cut to fit, and then I got rid of the arms that are actually supposed to support the mirrors, because I'm going to have the mirrors on there, but I'm going to have them in a certain way. This air cleaner, I actually cleaned it up a little bit more. It's just an old air cleaner at maybe 20-30 years old. I found it in the parts bin, and I loved the look, so I gave it a green bath to get rid of most of the other gunk. And in the process, it turns out this thing's a 2-piece air cleaner. So I cleaned up all the old glue and stuff around the edge and used the Tamiya extra thin, and now it's got a really strong bond here. These 2 imports, I've drilled little holes. I don't know how well you can see those, maybe. Let's see. Can you see those? Anyway, I did those little holes there, and the center hole to well, it's going to represent something. You'll see. I'm going to try to pull off an effect with this, and I think I can do it. This weird nozzle looking thing was in the box of parts, and I have like 4 of them, 5 of them, something like that. I was like, you know what? I'm seeing something here. And trust me, it's going to be used in the build. This big old sheet is going to be used. And this here, it's got a bit of plastic dust on it. Pardon me, sorry. This here is a piece of sheet styrene. This is some kind of intake for another car model, and these of course, as you can see, are disc brakes. This is going to go where the bed of the sleep compartment of the camper van would be. So it's going to be up there like that. But there's a reason for all of this. There's a method to my madness. And these little disc brakes here, the smaller versions of those two big pieces, are also going to be used. So basically everything you see here, and there's a couple of parts sitting over here in my mean green, but they'll be used also. Yes, even these little horseshoe looking bits, these half circles that I actually cut in half. Disappointment, I don't have prime and paint on this. And there's a reason for that, because when my brain started going nuts and everybody was throwing ideas at me, and then I was improving on the ideas, I guess you could say, I realized I couldn't prime and paint and do all the extra details I needed. So like this here, as you can see, will slide into here. It does fit. It's just I'm fiddle farting with it. I don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, that will go right there. As you can see, I've got the 2 holes drilled. These are kind of tight, but they will go in. And oddly enough, these fit through there. So I think I'm pretty well ready. There's a few little spots I'm still touching up as I go along and do this. I'm touching up a few little things. But before I can close everything off, of course, I have to make sure my pieces here all line up and everything is drilled out the way I want it. And then once those are in place and everything else is situated the way I need it to be, then I will glue the roof in place with the skylight. That way I can do all the last minute sanding, filling, and anything I need to do before I prime everything. Oh, there it went. Anyway, whoop. See? Solid. Anyway, so that's where we're at on this. I have to say, my hope was to have this done by Wednesday this coming week. I don't know about a reveal on Wednesday. Maybe this mess will be actually assembled for the most part, but I don't know about a reveal. I will try, but I can't guarantee it. Sunday, if it comes down to it, will be the final reveal. We will be done with everything then. And then we will do the reveal and then reset the desk and do the review and begin the build on the promotional build. I did get a stash ad today for my model stash. It's going to go along with this. And once you see this in its final form, you will understand where this stash ad is going. And I will reveal that on Sunday's video. But until then, please stay tuned. Keep watching the videos. keep plugging along in the hobby of scale model building. If you're new to the hobby, thank you for watching my videos. There are a lot more content creators out there, and we are all out here to help you in your adventure in scale modeling. Some of us go all out super detail. Some of us just build it straight out of the box. And others like myself, well, I do a little bit of everything. So, yeah, if you're new to scale model building, don't give up. If something appears messed up, don't worry about it. You learn from it. Save the kit. Set it up on the shelf. Display it. And then move on to your next build. And then the next build. And as you improve, you can either leave that build next to all your improved builds, or you can get to that point where you go back and realize you can strip and disassemble that old kit and refurbish it and redo it. And that's always a fun undertaking, just something to continue to push your experience to the next level. But yeah, so thank you. I look forward to Wednesday's video, and thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. Follow us over at or on Facebook at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters. And if you find the videos fun or entertaining or even informative, be sure to like them. Subscribe, of course, and feel free to share. Everybody enjoy your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good day.